Hey, this is Jamal Jones, and I am First Phorm. Becoming a First Phorm athlete is something I've been wanting to do for quite some time, but I have not taken it seriously until this year. Let's start with my journey and what led me to where I am today. Start at the very beginning of my journey. Ever since I was a kid, well, it's rooted back to since I was a kid, my interest in martial arts. I've been doing martial arts for 10 years, going on 11 years next year. It'll be 11 years next year since I've been doing martial arts and practicing it and just adding it as a additional part of myself, just living and being art. My journey officially started, despite always having an interest in it as a kid, my journey officially started in 2011. Fun fact, the grade I was in school correlated with the year, so like for 5th grade, it would be 2005 and so on, just like that. So 2011 is when I really started my fitness martial arts journey in general. Track and boxing. Track was like one of my all-time favorite things. It would have been the sport I would have done in the Olympics if I had went for the Olympics. It's a thrill. Sprinting was what I did, and I also did boxing. Those two there were my foundation for me building myself up. I didn't realize it at the time, but later on, for really currently and looking back, like, yeah, that was definitely the time. It was the beginning of me, like beginning of me building me, the me that I really aspire to be, and the me that I am further sharpening as time goes by. So a little details about track and me really liking to run as a kid. Like, yeah, I thought, to my knowledge, I was the fastest thing alive, and I know everyone thinks that until reality, gives them that check, like, hey, you're not. So I was the 5th fastest person. The 5th. Like, I know there are different categories of track, but out of the whole track team, like, I was thinking about everybody, distance, shot put, and all that, I was the 5th fastest. There were 6th. I was the 6th fastest. There were 5 other people faster than me. And I'm like, yo, what is this? Like, it was a reality over. I knew I had to work harder, and work harder I did. I went for runs on the weekends, me doing boxing and whatnot. So it all went hand in hand. It was amazing. It was a good time. Up until that point, I got walking pneumonia, but it is what it is. After high school, I actually did my own training for the Olympics. 2012, I was going for runs like every day. I was training and exercising like 4 to 5 days out of the week. Life started to happen. Went to college, got my first job, got off of track completely. And by the time 2016 came around, because 2012 was the year I started, I was prepping for Rio. For like a good year, I was consistent with my training, just like for myself. Like, I didn't actually go to anything official. I just wanted to get myself right first. I wanted to be fully confident before I made that step. And then I started college. I think I was saying just a moment ago, started college, started working, and completely got thrown off track. Life happened, and hence why it's one of the reasons I look the way I do today. Like, this is a lot of working out. It was a whole lot. I didn't go to Rio. Long story short, didn't go to Rio. And then, let's see, at the Fitness Factory is where I met some very inspirational individuals. A few individuals I could think of off the top of my head that were really inspirational to me while I was working there were Kevin, Bella, Keith Jr., and Keith Sr. I want to say thank you to you guys if you see this, because just interacting with you for the time that I did, you guys dropping some of your knowledge and just having conversation with me, I appreciated all of that, because I knew I didn't know it all. Like that's something I could definitely say. I'm very humble. In fact, sometimes I feel like I could be too humble because I'll know something, but yet I still let someone have their piece. I'll let them say what they gotta say and just flow with it. But in those cases, whenever Keith was telling me something, I would listen. Keith Sr., I would definitely listen to something. I know he's been in the game a lot longer than me. And Kevin was just all around inspirational. Just every time I see the guy work out, I was like, yo, I don't want to get exactly that big, but the fact that I see he put the time to get to where he is enough. Just seeing that progress. And then there are also just stuff I see in passing that are inspirational. Even watching anime, that stuff is always inspirational. I'm a weeb. If you do. I'm a huge weeb. I watch a lot of anime. But yeah, that stuff. And while I was there, also doing a lot myself, like the life stuff happening. I was in school, getting my bachelor's degree in graphic design. I was working full-time as a graphic designer. I was working part-time at the gym at the time. I was also working, doing freelance work. I was doing a lot, and I also tried to get my national certification as personal trainer. That it didn't work out. It is what it is. And really, it wasn't until this year, like I was just saying a moment ago, while I'm taking it serious, that I realized being a first form elite athlete is what I want to do. I want to be able to inspire others and help them realize that they themselves are the true protag of their story. Hence why I call myself the true protag on my Twitch and Instagram and my YouTube. I realized that I was my own true protagonist, my own hero. And I realized this in 2019. I just took that leap of faith with myself. After years of me just not being true to myself, like not fully true to myself, after years of me not being fully true to myself, I was like, I can't. I realized I could not continue to go like this. So I took that leap of faith. Within myself in 2019, and I started to just go up, like just be better for myself, and in turn, being better for myself, I can be better for others. And by me being better for others, I can be better for myself. It's just like a iron sharpening iron kind of thing. That's how I like to look at it. Realizing that 2020 was also my best year. I have not had a year like 2020 in my life yet. So 2020 definitely so far is my best year. In that year alone, I feel as though I got 3 to 5 years of boosted experience of self. Like within, peaceful. Like if I could just show you like a Hawking scale, I'm in the top. I'm up here like most of the day, like practically I don't like to leave there, because even going down a little bit is no bueno. I mean, even though it is good, it's not like I'm in the levels of fear and shame and grief and all that, because I've forgiven myself for all the stuff I've done to myself. Definitely had a moment in 2019 when I realized that on that day I had a moment for myself, tears and all, and I just made that decision to no more. And it's just like with those who I just mentioned. I knew at some point in their life they thought no more of the old, I want new, and they went for it. They realized that they were their own true protagonists of their lives. And me realizing that I'm a true protagonist of my life, I want to be able to help others realize that as well. Whether it's using Twitch, whether it's using YouTube, whether it's using Instagram, whether it's just me being and communicating with you in passing, each minor action or toward it is what matters. Because Bruce Lee had a saying, is something, I don't remember word for word, but it's something about, it doesn't matter how slow you're moving as long as you're taking daily action towards your goal. And I follow Bruce Lee stuff a lot. I read a couple of his books. I would definitely say The Warrior Within, regardless of your profession, you should give it a listen, because I completed the book twice. I read the physical copy and I just recently finished the audiobook, and I'm thinking about starting the audiobook again just to see what different things I pick up from it, because the second time I completed it, I picked up some different things because it's a different mind. Because my mind, because I finished the book initially, excuse me. I finished the book initially in like 2015, and I let one of my friends borrow it. He finished it and let one of his friends borrow it. So now the book is just doing whatever, just going from warrior to warrior. I picked up some things from it, very, very deep. Like I would be reading it and have to stop because Bruce Lee or John Littlewood put something in there from Bruce Lee, and it would just, I was like, okay, I gotta absorb all of that explosion real quick, because that was a lot. Blew my mind multiple times, because I've read so besides The Warrior Within, there was the Tao of Kung Fu and the Tao of Jeet Kune Do. I'll also then, now I'm thinking about it, I didn't talk more about the martial arts side of things. So from the boxing, it went from me self-teaching myself Muay Thai to learning Muay Thai to learning Jeet Kune Do, to learning Taekwondo is what I meant, to learning Taekwondo, to learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, to learning Wing Chun. And then with the way of the intercepting fist itself, I realized from reading Bruce Lee's stuff, I'm doing my current own interpretation of Jeet Kune Do. There are other arts I want to learn more, like capoeira, more karate, because I like of funds. I got like a trial membership at a karate dojo. They taught me one technique, and sometimes I use it when I'm like training and whatnot. But it's like that's only literally I know one judo technique. Like for me going there, there's a friend, an associate of an associate. He knew judo and he taught me a judo throw, and it's like that one judo throw. I was like, okay, if ever I'm in a situation like that, I'll use that judo throw. And then with karate, the guy taught me a certain kind of a punch, like it's like a drilling punch. And I was like, okay, since it was only a trial, that's all they taught me. I was like, I can't do much with this. But with the Taekwondo, on the other hand, I had a whole month free trial. I took advantage. I took advantage of that whole month free trial. And it's like now I'm at the point in my life where also from realizing that I could teach myself a lot of this stuff, I've been teaching myself some things. There, like capoeira, I can try, but I would definitely prefer to have a teacher to teach me that stuff. And I know my flexibility isn't as fluid as it should be. So I've been working on that as well. I still do much, I still train, I still spar occasionally with my friends. And yeah, that's where martial arts is currently. It's been 10 years since I've been doing martial arts. Something I've been doing on my Twitch. I have some followers that I have some conversations with, to the point to where sometimes I just have to stop playing whatever game I'm playing to explain why whatever it is, whatever they ask me or whatever they're going through, I'll explain. Because I like it's an anime reference. Talk no jutsu is what Naruto does whenever he's talking to an enemy when they're not really an enemy, they just misguided, they're hurt, they want justice for something. And Naruto uses talk no jutsu to talk them out of it, and they're like, yeah, you right Naruto, I'll stop being evil and blah blah blah. So I do something similar on my Twitch streams when that stuff comes up. Other than that, I'm just talking and we're just having fun. But when that stuff comes up, I'll take that time to talk them through whatever they're experiencing. There's a guy, I won't mention who he is, but if he sees this, he will know who I'm talking about, who's going through some things right now. I broke down quite a few things, like time travel. Like I can talk. I realize I can talk a lot, which is one of the reasons why I started streaming. This video could be really long if I just let it all out. I can talk a lot. Like I would break down. Well, I've already broken down so many things for him to help him better himself. I'm just gonna wish him well. That's all I can do. Like he's in Alabama? Yeah, he's in Georgia, and I'm here in St. Louis. And when I got that call from Nick, that reignited my flame for this first Phorm sponsored athlete, because I started it, but he gave me a call and he realized, oh, I didn't complete my bio, which this will be part of that, and I'll have to go back and finish that, because I think the campaign is about to be over within a month or so. There's some things I know I had to finish, this being one of them. Regardless of what happens, I want to say thank you to First Phorm for choosing me. But I want to say thank you for this opportunity. It's been a journey. Like I've been learning a lot about myself, about as far as like what more I should be doing. I realized that people need something bright, and by that I mean people need that light to be like, okay, you see this person shining, you see them in their glory, like them just being themselves. They're just being themselves and being peaceful with it. That inspires people. I realized that inspires people. Like Corey Kenshin, for example, one of my favorite YouTubers. I watch his content a lot. I'm taking notes on what I can do better to have my content. And it's like him just being himself on camera. People love it. People love when you be yourself, your true self. Now, for the individuals who are just genuine and authentic and transparent, more people like that are needed. And with me realizing and growing myself, as I've stated before, as I better myself, I can be a better service to people. And with me being a better service to people, I am being a better service to myself. that is something I wholeheartedly believe. And with First Phorm, I know that is possible. So again, First Phorm, I want to say thank you. And I'll see you guys later.